Greetings from my underground parking garage at the apartment. I have brought Dave's car home, that's what I've been calling it lately, and she's ready to get some work on her done. It hit the ground so hard that the ring popped off the headlight. And I took the ones from Amy because they were really pretty, and honestly I want the prettier rings for Dave. As far as Ivy goes, I'm going to keep the rings on Ivy because they're color matched, so no need to have silver ones. Yeah, let's just, spruce it up, see if I can get turn signals working and get the interior as back together as possible so that we can give him a not-so-desperate project. The good news is the engine is running very smoothly, and I don't know what oil is in it, what weight of oil, but that oil pressure light does like to come on when it gets real hot and real thin, so it might be a good idea to change that. There's some duct tape here on the vent windows. You may have noticed that. The trim on the door handle is threatening to cut you. The door handle doesn't work. I'll have to take a look at that. Still have all of our wheel rings. That's good. Hubcaps are in the back. I may put those on, spruce it up just a bit. It's cool. This car's really cool. I don't know what's in the trunk yet, minus the cardboard boxes that I added. I don't know if there's a key for the fuel tank, and there are clips missing here. But she stayed on the whole way, so... Actually, what I'm planning on doing before giving this to Dave is tomorrow morning, I'm going to take this to the Cars and Coffee. But as far as California cars go, there's none of that awful leaking of the windscreen in the corners or rust. The underbody looked really nice, too. What is up with these whale tail bumpers, though? Come on. Much better. The springs are actually broken on this side. So I'm improvising, and it only took me about 2 Wham songs to figure it all out. I haven't really talked much about the interior, but let's have a look at everything. We'll start here on the left side of the dashboard. The light switch, voila, 96,416. So I rolled it over, which means I've driven right there, 428 miles. That's the time we picked it up, and everything works on this. That's good. The speaker up top is connected down here to the radio, and the speaker wires are still there. The thing itself looks pretty awful, but not much rust. You see over yonder, a little bit in the corner. I think that might be the worst of it, but you get a nice look of the bottom side of the windshield. So this looks like the dash plate that's got that surface rust on it, but yeah, nothing terribly rotted out. Okay, this has like the side hamster wheel, not the regular one. And then this is probably the vacuum chamber for setting all of the accessories, like these little diaphragms to adjust whether you want the vents on the floor or on your face or on the defrost. And I do hear it working. I just want to make sure that the lines are all tight to it. It's not actually suffering. I'm trying to piece it all together here, make less of a puzzle for Dave. The first thing I did was actually just tape the loose ends up so that they don't short out while driving, because I don't know what's going to have power or not at this point, and I wanted to have a nice safe drive back, and we sure did. There's the fuse panel. Yeah, the door panels are here. Of course, they don't match the seats. The seats are nice, but they do have that typical fade on the shoulder. So it looks like the car was a blue car at one point. Plastic handles took over. They used to be metal in the Amazons. The mirrors here, the mirror clips are still in one piece. Yeah, I got the glove box in, and you know what? It works. And there's the center console left here. That is not so complicated, but there are a few question marks, like these connectors. Okay, this obviously will be here for the demister, but then the hazard switch does have its own connector, and the only ones that don't are going to be things like a cigarette lighter, which I'll have to figure out. Some of the wires I've found where they end up, like this gray wire here is the light for the clock, so that might end up at the dimmer switch or not. We'll just have to see. What's the worst that can happen? We'll pop a fuse or two. We now have an indicator here for our gears, our gear selector. That's good. We have lighting back at the... I'm gonna sneeze. And best of all, go on. Best of all, we have turn signals. This also feels terrible and doesn't seem to be working. Let's button this puppy up. This car's got child locks. And something was jammed up. I think all the confusion and the broken handle jammed up the linkage in such a way that I really had to get in there with the screwdriver and just give her the old garbage disposal trick, and it kind of worked. So finally got the door open. And Yeah, I want to put the panels on so it looks okay for Cars and Coffee, but as soon as the car gets delivered, I'm sure Dave's going to pull them right off so he can get to fixing them handles. Aye, this failer's ready. I tell you what. Door panels are back in. This is the pouch that came off the other side, so I'll just probably set it in place tomorrow. I still got to do the vacuuming, clean up the windows and all that. I was going to wash it, but that's for another time. I did manage to get the door locks on after I removed the duct tape, and I pieced those together from the stuff that was floating around in little trays and boxes, but I'm quite proud of this. Look at that, even that switch works in there. Beautiful. You know what? Maybe it's telling me to put this in here. And voila. Still the left two doors won't open until the handles are replaced. Put all my tool bags in the trunk. There wasn't really much in terms of parts. The hubcaps are there and that's it. She cleans up very nicely, doesn't she? And I think the best part about the Bosch D-Jetronic she fires up right away. I hear the thing hissing over there. See you at Cars and Coffee in the morning. We made it. She idled beautifully. Yes. Oh, I'm in good company. Yes. It's nice to see the interior complete in the daylight. Sort of complete. Looks like we all suffer from car owner virus. People are loving this thing. I mean, they're stepping out of the way. The photographers are like, oh, it's too good for me to even shoot. So they're actually enjoying the moment more than the photos. It's great. 3 out of 4 hubcaps though. Heckin' brilliant. That's a trendsetter. A little bit more than these shoes.
Hey everybody, take a look at me. I've got street credibility. May not have a job, but I have a good time. When the boys that are beating out on the line said, I don't need you. So you don't approve, who asked you to? Hey! I said, hey, jerk, you work. This boy's got better things to do. Yeah, I ain't never gonna work, get down in the dirt. I choose to cruise. Gonna live my life sharp as a knife. I found my groove and I just can't lose. A1 style from head to toe. Who got fast? Gonna let you know. I'm a soul boy. I'm a dough boy. Take pleasure and let everybody. You can't tell me that I'm not everybody that you enjoy what you do. If not, just stop. Don't stay there and rock. Party nights and neon lights. We hit the floor, we hit the heights. Fancy shoes and pretty girls. Boys and leather, just girls and pearls. Hot damn, everybody, let's play for the ground. Do a good job. No way. 1, 2, 3, rap. Come on, everybody, don't leave this crap.
The Volvos are here. People are loving on this wagon. I don't blame them, it's cool. Well, we was about to head out and then Minyongo showed up in his pretty cool two-tone with a torque thrust. Boy, I like that interior. Ooh. You got working air conditioning?
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah, the two-tone is so nice. When you're pulling in, everybody's like, wow. Like,
Oh, cool.
gorgeous colors, man.
Oh, thank you. It's like that when I'm body.
Well,
Did you see this? This is the most LA thing ever right here. Nice, beautiful 70-degree day. People is chilly. In other news, I'm really enjoying driving this car around. It's delivery day for David Hunt. I want to make sure I give him a full tank of gas. Boy, it's been a day, fellers. I had the door swing open on me because the handle's a little sticky. And then I decided to christen it with some really good espresso. I'm driving my friend Sarah's red 245 and I'm going to pick up Dave. We're gonna go out to lunch and then at the end of our meal, enjoy a surprise.
You're early.
Oh, just a few minutes.
You're early.
Yeah, just a few moments. What are you working on?
This is the bolt for the I had a 59 that had the
Yeah.
wings in the back.
Everything okay?
Just great.
Is everything okay?
Yeah, great.
That was a good meal. I'm gonna ask you one more time. Lunch was good. Are you ready for dessert?
No.
Well, I got something. I got some dessert here.
Lunch was fantastic.
Well, I'm gonna bring you some dessert. So you meet me over there, and you know, save some room for that pie pocket.
Cool. I think he wants us to stand here. Are you excited?
Huh?
Are you expecting anything? I'm excited. It'll be fun.
Driving.
This is the, well, you remember last time we were having dinner on your birthday? And I was showing you the one for sale in San Jose.
Yeah.
So this is it.
Oh,
And I want to get your opinion of it.
I thought
She's about the same color.
this doesn't have as much rust as Amy.
This car has 96,000 miles. Original miles.
Holy crap. This has everything. It's got all the AC
It's got
still
AC.
in it.
I think it works. The clutch goes on. I just haven't had the guts to try it, but it might still have a charge.
It
But-
probably needs charge.
Well, I haven't tried it. I just with
But
the
it's
key
got
on.
everything. My goodness.
Yeah. So it's fuel injected. It's it
So
runs
it's a 72?
72. So which is the larger bumpers, slightly different grille. It's plastic, but
But the fuel ejected,
it
I
runs
think it's
really
better.
nice. I think it's better too because it's it doesn't stall on me. Here, I'll start it up.
Yeah, that's really low mileage.
I think this has been replaced, and I think this has been replaced. Obviously, the paint's different on it. I don't know why, but it looks like a little bit of damage has happened in the front at some point. So maybe somebody got into a small fender bender. But everything, even the, it's got working everything. Check out the interior.
No, this is cool. My goodness.
It's a blue interior coat, but all the seats are the same color, so maybe somebody just had everything reupholstered at once. And it's an automatic.
You got surface rust, but I don't see anything really
nothing.
super bad.
Yeah.
This is from San Jose?
San Jose. First thing we did when we picked it up is we drove it right to the tire shop and put brand new tires on. And there is like 200 pounds of my tools in the trunk, so I think that's why it's weighing it down a little bit in the rear. Otherwise, it didn't seem to sag.
Oh, it's Jack's.
Yeah. I think that's the original plate for 72.
Yeah,
Have a seat.
this thing is cool. This is really cool.
A little bit of, that. The odometer works. See, we drove 500 miles with it.
I've never seen a tack like that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's like the
That's cool.
the early 240 ones. Here, I'm gonna go around. Stay in there.
No, this is cool.
Okay, so you remember we showed you this car on your birthday, and so Sarah and I were trying to figure out was it 81 or 82 because we wanted to give you this car as a birthday present. So here's the key. Happy birthday, Dave.
What?
Yeah, I'm serious.
Why?
You've shown so much interest in Ivy and in Amy, and you're always asking how she's doing, and you even at one point entertained trading for 1900, which I will not say yes to in good conscience.
No, this is
So,
so cool.
you know, I want to give you something fun to drive and tinker with.
Yeah. Oh, this is just unreal.
And also, I'll be here to help you with it, because it's got some issues, you know, like the door handles are broken on the front. So I have to reach in to use this. You know, we'll replace all that stuff. But, you know, she, like I said, she drove 500 miles with only the repairs that we did in San Jose and hasn't given us any trouble since.
This is unbelievable. This is so cool.
Great.
So then you're gonna be able to get all the parts you need off of Amy for.
Yeah, I don't need anything from this car.
This is just outrageously cool. Oh, I just love well, I love my 240.
Yeah.
And this is a 240 special,
Pretty much.
pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, so much of the interior is just like those. That's
Cooler,
75.
it's cooler than the 240, but
Yeah.
the 240, it's basically a 240 car, which is a supercar.
Yeah. It's gonna be
Oh,
fun.
this is just
Yeah.
outrageous.
Guess you'll be seeing a lot more of me now.
I'm surprised that it drove so good from.
Very comfortable. I mean, I had a friend look at it before we went to San Jose, and I wanted to confirm that it was going to be an okay candidate. And he took videos of underneath every corner. So I looked, I saw the brake hoses look good, the bushings are all nice. It's, you know, it's that like mild California climate where the worst of it would be any exposed metal would get surface rust, but this is spared. And the bushings
are
age
great.
well. The seats are comfy too, very comfortable. She shifts okay too. I mean, I was cruising 70 miles an hour on the way down here today. So it gets going.
This doesn't have the overdrive, right?
No, it's just a three-speed auto. Yeah, but you know, at 65, you're turning about 3,000 RPM, which isn't bad.
Same as mine. My
Yeah.
1900.
Oh yeah, and then at 70, it's like 3,300 RPM, something like that. So go ahead and fire it up. Let's, you know. I will say this: when the only part that I added to this car, minus of some repairs on the wheel bearings, I put the headlight rings from Amy on because they're the chrome ones versus the painted ones. They were damaged. So that's a little bit of Amy's on this car right now.
Oh,
Yeah.
unreal.
Yeah. Just want to have some fun with it.
Drive it home.
You want to drive it home? Do you feel comfortable driving this right now? Okay. Let's go around the
I'm
parking.
gutsy for anything.
Okay.
I'm used to Volvo.
I'm glad you're happy.
Sarah's gonna follow us, and then we'll go right to your place. Okay.
Alright.
If there's any problems, you holler.
I think this is the basic fuel system that the B20 had.
Yeah, the D-Jetronic from Bosch.
Yeah.
So I was cruising 70 miles an hour. Pretty comfy.
This is a Borg Warner 35,
Yeah.
isn't it? The same transmission that's in my was in my 122.
Yeah.
But everything is tolerable. I mean, it's all.
Yeah. And like I said, brand new tires, so that helps, you know, give you a little peace of mind that you're not going to have a flat.
Yeah.
It was quite an adventure getting this car out. The lug nuts were loose, so one of the wheels actually fell off. And we found the lug nuts. We put it back on, drove off, and then I pulled the wheel bearings off. I repacked them, and then we hit the road again. And then the rear wheel bearing failed on the driver's side. So I pulled out both axle shafts. I pressed out the bearing at a friend's house up in San Jose. And then I pressed in the new bearings, put in new oil seals on both sides, and
Okay.
repacked both bearings. So you have a new bearing on the left, and you have
But you didn't change the oil in the rear end.
Oh, we did.
You did?
We did.
Okay.
Oh, here's the best part. It has a limited slip differential.
Oh.
Yeah, the rear kind of is a little heavy.
But it's still...
The front floats over these bumps. Yeah.
Again, I think it's shocks, but as far as suspension, it seems tight. They use about 3 different kinds of shocks. They used Bilstein, they used
KYB?
KYB,
Maybe Coney?
and Monroe.
Monroe.
Monroe is goes back to the 444.
Yeah.
They were identical. The only thing was they stamped Volvo on it. Turns off good. I mean, gosh.
Not a bad car.
Well, the only thing really is the dash, and you know what? Gorilla tape.
I'll leave that up to you. I would probably just put a cover on it.
But the seats look great.
Yeah.
A long time ago, I worked on the latch, and it exploded.
Just the springs and the tumblers
The
and
whole
everything?
works went south.
Yep.
So I never did have a lock. So I put this on because I'm finding that's one of the noises that I had going over a bump.
That's a nice buckle. It looks very good.
So I put that on. The other thing is I mounted fire extinguisher.
Very good.
I mean, it's really hard to get them tight. I got them fairly good. And the other is these bushings that hold this. And that's where 90% of the fires of the 444, 544s.
Yeah. Oh, just the fuel leak right there.
The color is 42.
Color 42, type 164664?
164-364.
364. And then upholstery is 966-865.
Yeah.
And the S number, which is the special number, whatever that means, is a 6075. Yeah, well, we've got a title that's for the car, and we're still got valid registration, so we'll take care of all that. And then the arm that connects the wiper to the rest of the linkage is broken, so we're gonna have to find a new assembly, I think, which I'll find one for you, and then we can get your wipers working again. So right now there's no wipers.
Got it.
I'm hoping this doesn't give you too much work and be a headache, but I'm also hoping that it's just enough fun.
That's the name of the game.
Enough of a challenge. I want it to be a gift, not a burden.
But that's a Volvo.
It's a Volvo.
And it's an old Volvo.
Sometimes you got to break a moose in.
And that's what you expect to do. You expect to go on a trip with all your tools, and you expect to hop out and do something.
Well, that was like getting your car home with the heat overheating.
I mean, that's just
Yeah.
the way of life.
Believe me, it was a weekend. Wait till you see the video.
It's not.
Wait till you see this video.
I mean, that's just a way of life.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
But
so I know all about that kind of thing. And
Wow.
that's not a burden. That's just, you can't look at it as a burden.
Yeah.
You have to look at it, that's just the way it is.
Well, this is a little bit like time traveling, because right now I'm telling you, you in the future will already know, and you're going to be laughing along with us about how much work it was to get it here. But it really wasn't that bad in the grand scheme of things. Like, it's still a good car.
considering.
We just had 2
And
wheel problems.
The combing is in great shape. That's another thing that
Yeah. Yeah. Let's load her up. Okay, so it's the white knight and the beige page. It kind of rhymed.
What am I, the Red Robin?
Do you need any wood?
yeah,
Okay.
just one is fine.
How about 5?
Okay.
One of my favorite colors for these cars is this like metallic blue, but it's an extra ring that came with it. This is the ring that I pulled off. Okay. And mud flaps. Mud flaps.
Oh,
Mud flaps. That's a bigger bar for this car.
I may not be right all the time, but I'm never wrong.
I get that on a magnet?
Oh, I gotta show you the coolest thing.
Hey, I used to use one of those on gardening. You can kneel this way.
Gardening, yes.
And then you can
You
stand
can
this
kneel
way.
it, and it will fit my little car.
What is this hat? Did you get it in Egypt?
No. If you look at
you
some of the
serious?
pictures, if you look at some of the pictures of people driving,
This is the Camel Trophy hat.
it's a French Foreign Legion hat.
That is so cool.
And what's cool is
got a
the
shape.
flap
Yeah.
in the back,
Oh, man.
because that's one of the bad things of driving that car in the
Sure.
sun.
Yeah, I'm already feeling it here.
But this is the French Foreign Legion hat,
Yep.
and if you look at some of the pictures, you will see the guy wearing this exact hat.
Well, I'll be dipped.
Some of the old
Yeah.
pictures of the 1900 of them driving, that's what they're wearing.
Oh, man. The Swedes, when they reach sunny
And then
climates.
goggles.
What do you guys do down here for the sunshine? Well, let me show you.
So, but I thought this was just the coolest.
This is
Rear end oil.
60% full, but this is what I put in the rear end. I'm going to leave
Yeah.
it here for you.
Okay.
Now, like I'd mentioned, there's no friction modifier. I don't know what you're supposed to add to the limited slip differentials, but somebody mentioned do add a friction modifier for the LSD
Yes.
clutch pack or
There,
however that
it
works.
is a different.
So if this is the wrong oil, you may as well drain it and put the
The
right
oil. There's two types. You either have what's it called,
Hypoid?
hypoid,
Mm-hmm.
or limited slip.
Okay, so then that's, I mean, I bought it because I presumed it was a normal diff, and then we opened it up and I went, all right,
But
cool.
that's the same oil that goes in my 1900.
Well, I'd say happy birthday sarcastically, but I really mean it. Isn't that cool?
Yes.
She's pretty. This
Yeah.
car is very attractive. All right, last but not least,
It's got a.
The new Love's Embrace collection from Kay Jewelers. Now you can surround her with the strength of your love.
Every kiss begins with
1900
K.
grill. It can't be all bad.
you got some extra fuses? For whatever reason, Volvo decided to put glue. So these are the window knob locks, and you just slide it over the window, and then it allows you to lock your window in place, and then it secures it. So
Yeah.
they had duct tape on here, but this is the better option.
Yeah. The best of two worlds. It's a 240 and it's a similar to the B18 push rod. So
Yeah.
it's the old and new coming together.
Yeah, that's a good way to end the video.